Hey friends, and welcome to the Moms Sweat Sanity podcast. I'm Brittany, accountability coach for women who know they're made for more. This is a space where ambition meets real life, where we talk fitness, family, personal growth, leadership, and all the what the hell is happening right now moments in between. Around here, we don't chase perfection. We build momentum. We push comfort zones, ask better questions, and take real action on the goals that matter most. Each week, you'll hear honest conversations, powerful guests, and grounded reminders that you don't have to choose between showing up for your life and going after your potential. So whether you're walking, sweating, driving, or hiding in your car for 5 quiet minutes, you're in the right place. This is your permission to stop playing small in your own life. Let's get into it. Okay, everyone. Well, I am excited to sit here today. Chelsea Clark, we haven't even connected yet. Momfluence, mom life, business, all of the things. I'm really excited to get to know you and what your business literally is about. I also crept the website, obviously, and I absolutely love the flow of it. It feels very much in alignment with myself and Momentum Collective. Take us, who is Chelsea Clark?
Great question. You always lead with like, I have 2 kids and yada, yada, but I have 2 boys. Boys are like very energetic and a lot. So that's like fun. I see my girl mom friends and I'm like, we do not have the same life. Like my kids are not organizing their summer bags and, they're very hectic.
That's so true.
Yeah. And they're 3 years apart. So there's a lot of squabbling. But I live in a part of north of Toronto that's like the only nice place you can really live in Ontario, where you can ski and be on Georgian Bay, which is a big body of water. So I spend a ton of time outside, which kind of leads into something I'm sure we'll talk about, which is work-life balance. I like being outside so much. I love hiking. I go for like long walks every day. I ski. I would say I swim, but it's really the water's too cold. But my legs are in the water. But I do Pilates. I love reformer Pilates. That's kind of my only hobby outside of being a parent and walking and stuff. But I go every week, and that's been something I've doing for a year.
Oh my gosh, good for you. I still have yet to try that. And it really is something I feel like is starting to explode everywhere. And I need to try it. I love, sport and moving my body, but I'm kind of nervous about the little muscles that activates.
It hurts after. There's some classes, like 3 days, I'm like walking very weirdly.
That's amazing.
It's great though.
Yeah,
this tells you a little bit about my personality. I'd never done a reformer Pilates class. I think I had done like 3 mat Pilates. I've done a lot of yoga and stuff. I bought a year without ever trying a class. I was like, I know I'm going to love this. And I did. So
okay, we aligned, I feel like. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. People don't do that.
No, I was pregnant and I'm like, I think I'm going to do a triathlon as my get back to shape. And
Wow.
people are like, have you done one before? I'm like, no, let's just start with the half Ironman. I have still never done anything less than a half Ironman.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You're a different breed. I have a marathon runner friend and I'm like, she'll text me on a marathon. She's like, I'm at like kilometer 50. And I'm like, what? I can't even run like 5K. So that's why with reformer Pilates, you lie down a lot of it. It is the perfect tired mom exercise because it hurts, but you're lying down. So that's my shout out to try
sign
it.
me up.
Try it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Momfluence, I'd love to dive into that and then kind of get your lead into where that even became a thing. But what is Momfluence?
Yeah, we're basically a marketing agency that helps brands work with only mom creators. So only influencer marketing. Doesn't really matter what the brand is, but lots of brands want to work with influencers and we help like do all of the work for them. So they just pick people they want and then watch the content, make sure it's good, but we do all the other admin. Basically, it's an admin job. It's so much operational lift. It's like herding cats. You have like 20 creators that you're like, hey, can you submit your post? Where's your reel? Where's your this? It's a lot of chasing.
So you're not doing like that side of it. You're not actually doing the content. Oh,
no, we don't make any content. All the creators make content. So like, you'll know this as a Canadian. My very first campaign was BMO, Bank of Montreal. And I was like, okay, I feel like a major imposter, but sure. And it was fine. And back then it was like, they did blogs and Instagram. And so we basically are like a middleman. Yeah, we're a middleman in every sense, but no, I don't make any content at all. wouldn't know how.
Let's talk about that imposter. How did you begin this career knowing that this is what you wanted to create?
I used to own restaurants in Toronto and like area, and I did that for 11 years. Then I got pregnant with my second child, and I was like, I'm not doing restaurants anymore with 2 kids. Not happening. I had a 3-year-old, and I was pregnant, and I was like, I got to move somewhere basically like, I would have moved to Vancouver if it was warmer, but I was like, Costa Rica, I'll live there forever. So like anybody, I'd never been there before either. So I pictured it more like California.
I'm not surprised by knowing you in like 2 minutes.
Sold everything. And I was like, I know I'm going to live there forever. I'm going to love it. And while I did like it, I couldn't live there forever. I think if you get used to certain things like Amazon and a grocery store with so much produce, you get like, I'm not that minimal, I don't think. So we were there for 11 months. And while I was there unemployed with 2 children, I was like, I should probably start a business. And I had no idea what I was going to do. Like I looked at being a psychologist and I forget the other weird ones, like a mushroom chocolate company. Like I have logos and like anti-chlorine powder. Like the domain list I have is wild. And then I actually landed on, I was helping this brand, Dookies water shoes. They're these adorable little water shoes that kids wear on the beach. I was in Costa Rica. I needed something that would not hurt my kids' feet when it was hot. And I was like, hey, I can distribute these in Costa Rica. I live in a hot place and I speak English. That didn't work, but I was helping them with Toronto-based retailers. And then I added more companies. So I was basically finding like small mom-owned companies and helping them get into retailers, mostly in Toronto. From there, I guess, I don't even remember, but I'm sure I was like, hey, you guys should do influencer marketing. Like, why aren't you doing that? And they're like, we have no idea what that even is. I was like, don't worry, I'll help you out. And I tried to find agencies basically or software, and they were all really expensive. And they would show me like example creators and it'd be like men, like 20-year-olds. And I was like, none of these people are really a good fit for like my Dookies water shoes. They need moms. And so for some weird reason, I just started Momfluence. Actually, I think I wanted to call it Kidfluence. And my friend who is a content creator was like, that's a terrible name. Call it Momfluence. And I was like, that's so true. Because I didn't want it to be kids. Like I wanted it to be the women.
Then you're like totally pigeonholed.
Yeah. And I don't want to watch kid content. It's just weird. I want like the woman content. But really it was supposed to be like all kid brands kind of. Because that's what I was serving, my little distribution company. Yeah. And then BMO was my first thing. And I was like, okay, I'm obviously not just doing kid stuff. I got to do everything.
Yeah. And that's so aligned still as moms, as family, as everything, right? Like a bank is a bank. Yeah.
Now we've done like winter tires and God, we do like think of everything you buy in your house. It's literally everything, right? Like golf simulators. We've had calls with barbecue companies. I'm like, yeah, we decide almost everything, or like influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really runs like a big gamut. And I don't know why I started it. It's the least I've thought about a business of all of them. Some sit in my mind and like ruminate for months or years. But the other part is I wanted a remote business, right? I was living in Costa Rica. So I was like, great, I'll build software. I can do this remotely. Then only to move back. And that was not part of it anyway. But that was the inspiration.
I love that. And moms are really the impact of what our buying demographic is, like the women. So tell me what actually means in the dollar terms and why brands still underestimate us as moms.
Yeah, I've got that question a lot. And I feel like it's changing. Like so many brands, they're like, we never respond to outreach emails, but like moms are exactly our target. So, and it's not just kid and baby stuff. So I think it is changing a little bit. But yeah, I think older, like there's still a lot of boomers, I guess, is their generation that are in like the senior roles who do not use social media, do not maybe understand what like modern families are like, where women really research everything, talk to their friends, then, ultimately decide or get very unhappy if it's not their choice, right? Like,
yeah.
So I think some brands get it, some brands don't, but I think that it's a surprise to some brands. I hear this often where they launch with like, especially in health and wellness, a specific product they think is for Gen Z or like the younger women and men, and then actually moms are their biggest segment, and it surprises them. And I guess that like we have money theoretically after we pay for all of our kid stuff, but like, we're taking care of ourselves.
Maybe again.
Yeah. And maybe, yeah. So I think that most brands do recognize it, if not directly after some period, after analyzing their key demographics. They're like, hey, moms are like a big secondary market. Even like hair loss, loss for men have now started to go into like postpartum hair loss, or like women are they're outperforming the men on hair loss, which you wouldn't think of. We also are consumers, right? Like women, think about like your bathroom. Men have like one product. We have 20.
Totally. Yes. And we are kind of influencers, no matter whether we see ourselves that way or not, right? Because as you said, we are the consumers. We are the ones that make those decisions in the household a lot of the times because, we're the ones shopping, or we're the ones buying Amazon or whatever it is. You've said your quote, true influence doesn't feel like marketing. It inspires action through genuine connection. This quote is so good. I love it. Walk me through what actually looks like when a campaign nails this feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, like on the brand side, like I get really technical on this, but basically if a brand lets a creator actually make content that they would normally make and doesn't have to, they don't have to follow some weird brief with things like it's EWG certified and made with some like thing they wouldn't say, right? Like if the brand lets the creator speak as if I was telling you like something, like speak to in our brief, the auto copy says like, make sure you're, I forget the exact thing. Basically, make sure you're saying that the way you would say it to a friend, like at the park, like
Totally.
because that's how you make all of your other content, right? And then you come on, you're like, this is the best diaper. It's EWG certified, made, like I would never say that. I'd be like, these diapers are amazing. They don't have shit in them. They're cute, right?
Yeah. Put that in your caption.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I totally agree. And instantly, even on podcasts when you're listening, okay, like here's my break. And like, it's like, no, it just does. It feels so unnatural.
Yeah, it does. But so many, and again, maybe this goes back to C-suites that aren't on social media. They will not let you pass content that doesn't have these boring features that they feel like are getting their selling point across. It's like, it's a very weird world. Like brands think influencers are salespeople. And so they want, like, if you trained a salesperson going door to door, you'd be like, say these things, right? The creators think of themselves as content creators. Those are not the same profession in any way. And so the brand is always trying to make the creator a salesperson, and the creators trying to push back and not do that. And it's just the best thing is just to say like not give. I always have this idea of like a briefless collaboration. Like just don't tell the creator what to say. If you send me a product, I should be able to figure out from your website and socials what I want to talk about and like what I like. And
if you're truly using it and you're that consumer, then it will always speak true.
Exactly. So natural.
Yeah, so natural.
So maybe at some point that will change to that, but not yet.
Slowly, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we're getting more into that. Like, the staple word these days is authentic and authenticity and whatnot. But I think there is more of that. And people are kind of done with calling out that, okay, that's BS. You don't even use that. You just want my money or, yeah.
Totally. Which like in some way I feel bad for the creators because brands will only pay them for one post, right? So some of the inauthenticity comes from the creator only maybe posting about something once, where like the brand should have, like we always try to guide our brands to do 3 posts across like 3 months or some window, right? Because, as a creator, especially if this is your full-time career, you're going to prioritize things that are paying you. It makes sense.
Totally.
But then you're a lot of times just posting once about something, and it's not good for either person, but the demands of like the economics of I'm a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, I need to make money and just would be
like
easier.
Anything, you're not going to get anything out of doing something once.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like your Pilates. That's why you have a year subscription.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The number of brands that are like, she posted one time and we didn't see any coupon code use. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. What do you expect? Yeah.
And you're a startup and no one's ever heard of you and you're doing something weird that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's this.
Do you even know the stat these days? How many times someone has to actually see something to make a purchase?
Like it used to be 7. Now it's probably 30 because we see so many things, right?
I'd even say it's more than that. Like
there's
so much, right? And when you watch actually your Instagram, like insights and whatnot these days, it's like you can actually see where people move on. Right? How many seconds do you have of them before they're either watching the whole thing or clicking off? And it's like 3 to 5 seconds. Our attention span is horrible.
Yeah. No, it's true. The number of things that you watch till the end, but also the number of things that you buy just in that moment, right? So many, again, like people think influencers are magicians. You're just going to sell instantly. It's like they think the population is this trained dog to just buy. Like, sure, maybe fast fashion in certain accounts that you follow specifically for shopping recommendations, maybe, but like the average thing gets, fed into your psyche. And then you think about it and you're like, oh yeah, chlorella, I meant to try that. I remember seeing this company, like I'll look it up. And then I recognize them and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy those. There's no attribution there. It's like 6 months later and I'm just going on brand recognition, which is,
I totally had that recently. I'm like, I used to use that. Why did I stop?
Oh yeah. Yeah, as like a reminder.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, like there's so many different things that just like come into your mind, or it's the phase or the fad of the moment. You're like, sure, I'll try that, and then you're like, oh, actually, did this work or didn't it, or did I just stop? Right?
Yeah. Some things just fall off for no reason. You're like, I just forgot to order it. Now I'm out of the routine.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so routine and balance. Let's talk about balance. I'm not a huge like advocate of the word balance because I feel like we need different levels of like activation in our lives at different times. Someone was just referring to this to me and I loved it. Like they were saying it's like a yoga stance when you're in a tree.
Mm.
Oh, the tree pose, and you're still balancing, but there's one
Mm.
side of you that needs more of your
Mm-hmm.
activation at
Yeah.
that time. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah, that's
love
good.
that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're always leaning one way.
Yeah, totally.
Uh-huh.
Quick pause, and I want to speak directly to you for a second. If you've been listening to this podcast thinking, this hits, but I need support actually applying it, that's exactly why I built the Momentum Collective. It's a coaching space for women who don't want more information. They want clarity, accountability, and real forward movement. Inside, we focus on building momentum in your health, your mindset, your goals, and your life without burning yourself out. If you're ready to stop circling the same goals and start taking consistent action, the Momentum Collective might be exactly what you've been looking for. You can find all the details in the show notes. Okay, back to the episode. But what does it look like for you right now with motherhood, with Momfluence, life?
Yes. Because I started Momfluence when I had a baby, I feel like I've really never worked like an excessive number. I literally couldn't, right? It's like not possible. So yeah, I really work like 25 hours a week because I work school hours. I almost never ever, unless I'm feeling good about it, like check email at night or Slack or anything, like maybe like 10 minutes when my kids are home, but it's just too stressful. So I just learned to never do it. You can't focus on two things at once.
That's incredible that you have those boundaries though, whether it was like needed or just self-inflicted, right?
Needed.
Yeah.
I think in the
I love
beginning,
that.
also like I started this when COVID had just started, I think. I think it was the summer after COVID. So I was used to not really doing much because it was like, I was kind of on vacation mode during COVID because we hadn't launched yet and there was nothing really I could do. It's like, I don't know. It was just a weird time.
Pause.
So, and also I was running restaurants for 11 years. I felt like for a long time, I didn't want to go back to anything like those hours. And while it was fun and like very social, and when you're in a physical space, time feels different. Like it doesn't feel as tiring in some way. It was also like a lot of work. And I feel like I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that with this. I'm going to see, because we always hear all these, probably male influence statistics of like, you need to work 60 hours a week as a startup and all this stuff. And I'm like, but what if I didn't do that? Would it still work? And I feel like a few years ago, I listened to a podcast that said that we, as humans, we only really have 4 hours of productive working time a day. And I was like, that is actually me. After 4 hours, I can't focus. I get irritable. I don't want to do anything. So I half-ass things. So if I can do 4 or 5 hours a day of really solid work, I am like, oh, that was good. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's probably more than other people are getting done anyways,
in an 8 hour
especially when
thing.
you're able to lock out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But through, and I've gotten good at giving things to other people because I'm like, I don't have time to do this, right? I have this sense of urgency always where I'm like, I have 4 hours or 5 hours. And if I'm wasting my time on something, I'm like, I need to find someone else to do this, which is probably a good thing and help me grow because I was outsourcing things from the beginning. Like I would find cheap people on Upwork and to do like very, very admin tasks, like admin heavy tasks that were very simple.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to do it all on my own.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to do. I feel like so many women, but especially moms, we feel like we have to do everything like to prove ourselves or something like that for some weird reason. And there's support there and work within your zone of genius. That's going to help you grow faster when you're able to actually ask for help.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
you manage thousands of creators across North America.
Yeah.
So how are you managing that?
Yes. Well, I have really good campaign managers. And actually on the influencer side, we're not really their agents. Well, no, we're not their agents, but we are really on the brand side. So maybe every month we work with between like 200 and 400 creators a month, depending on what brands are doing campaigns. But yeah, having, I never wanted to grow a big team. I don't want to be an agency that has a big office in Toronto with like 50 people. That is not my dream. That is my nightmare, literal nightmare. I don't want to be responsible for that many things, right? Like when you're a mom with young kids, I have enough to think about with them. I want I want to make the most money I can in the least amount of work possible with which maybe other people that don't have kids would have this idea of having a big team, but no, that's not my idea. So I have 2 campaign managers. We are very efficient. I launched software in January that makes things easier. So just trying to make sure. Where
are you in the world of AI? Are you leaning into it?
I love AI.
Yeah.
Big time.
What's your favorite tool right now?
I like Claude's user interface. Like their UX is really nice and it feels nice to use, but I started on chat, so I feel like I call her Patricia. internally.
Yeah,
She's Patricia. I feel like I use Chat personally and Claude at work because Claude's I have the app on my computer and stuff. So I'm kind of divided. And that keeps
for sure.
my chat history. It's so embarrassing. Sometimes I'm like, if someone ever saw what I asked today, this is like really embarrassing.
I think everyone has that. It's like, yeah, you're hidden in the closet kind of little questions. I've been using Claude a lot more
Mm,
lately and have been like obsessing over it. The more you like kind of go down that rabbit hole, you're like, wow, that what it can do. I was
yeah.
doing this Callan Faulkner. I don't know if you've heard of her. She
Mm,
was doing a like full AI summit and I was just like mind blown. I'm like, fire hose, you're drinking too fast. There's like way too much
yeah.
information, but you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this is like game changing.
Right. I know.
Yeah,
I still think I haven't fully grasped its abilities because my default isn't to think like what can how can this be helped if something's really annoying me like most like low lift things like travel thing or like I don't know most things I will, but I think that I'm missing the opportunity on like really complex things where I assume it can't do it. So I need to get better for sure. I'm probably like a mid like an entry level person.
yeah. Well, that's way farther than a lot of people. Some people still aren't using any form of AI, right?
Yeah. Which I was
So
late though. Like I remember seeing all these people using it for social media prompts, right? And like 2 years ago, I tried to prompt it, and I was like, these ideas are giving me are terrible. And it's so true. I just wasn't prompting it correctly. Yeah,
totally. It's all
yeah.
in. Just like anything, right? It's in the question. It's like,
Hmm.
I can ask you, how are you? And you're like, fine. Or my day was so stressful yesterday. It's pouring with rain here now. I'm still feeling
Hmm.
down in the dumps. How are you
Mm.
feeling? Right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
invites you for
Feeling
like a
matched.
better conversation.
Yeah,
So just like social or just
yeah.
like AI, I guess. But
It is.
so
It is wild though.
currently, Momfluence, where is it heading? Like you're saying you're not
Mhm.
wanting to scale to 50 people in an office.
Uh-huh.
That's not your dreams or desires, but what's your
Hmm.
next levels with it?
Well, so when I started, we tried to be software. I built it with a WordPress like developer. I had no idea what language it was written in, and then I find out it's WordPress. I was probably like a month away from launching, and someone asked me what language it was in. I was like, I don't know, I have no idea. And I emailed them like, "What's our thing built in?" They're like, "WordPress." I was like, "Okay, WordPress," which I knew from my previous restaurants. That was our website was on WordPress. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I get this. I know how to use that. Like that'll be fine." Well, that's not very customizable. It's very
Mm,
limited. That's why for the next 5 years, I think I was trying to build something. And then with AI and Claude code, it's gotten much, much easier. So my partner's a developer and he's been actually developing it now that Claude helps a lot because he has a full-time job. And I'm like, hey, I have this project for you. He's like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But we have nobody that's on a subscription basis that self-manages. And that is my goal. I want to get to 500 brands that are using the platform without my involvement in a major way because right now we manage every campaign for a brand and really the upper limit of that is like my desire to have more responsibility, which is maxed out. So
Hmm.
I don't want to grow as an agency. I don't want more brands that I have to do calls with to like go over reporting, and that's not my dream.
No.
Yeah.
And your business is selling itself and how it's working for all of your customers. So really like taking that and allowing it to self sell.
And like really it's just they would need someone to do some of the things that we do, but AI can also do a lot of that. Right?
Hmm.
Like we go through and like suggest accounts. Well, AI can easily do that. There's so many things that if they're comfortable with someone else or like even just suggesting. So like AI will be a big part of the platform for sure because it needs to replace some human with like trainable thinking. But I
Hmm.
think we'll always have some managed campaigns and that's fine. I just would way rather have 500 or 1,000 brands using the software and can keep like the current level of campaigns.
Yeah, I love that goal. I think it's really important to have a vision of where you want to go, but
Mhm.
also I love how real you are in knowing your own boundaries and knowing that, okay, yeah, I want to scale and yeah, I want it to look certain ways, but that's not at the sacrifice of myself.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like I'm too old to be like, I'm just gonna work my ass off for 5 years. I'm like, no, I'm not wasting those 5 years. Like,
Right?
work is interesting, but it's not like my favorite thing to do. I get really excited about certain projects, but would I rather be outside gardening all day today?
Yeah.
Probably. Or like painting my house?
Oh
Probably.
my
I
God.
love painting. So yeah, I want to sell Momfluence. I now that I'm saying it out loud, I feel like it will happen more, but I want to sell it for 10 million and I'll give it 10 years. I could do this for 10 years. I don't want to start any other company really ever. I just want to renovate houses on my own speed. That's what I
Yeah.
want to do.
Well, there's your ad right there. Like, I feel like you're just like your own branding collaboration too. And you've said storytelling is a non-negotiable, right? In
Mhm.
every brand collaboration. So why does content, I feel, fall flat without it?
Because there's like when you tell a story, there's something emotional about it, right? That you can tie into, or you relate yourself to the story. Like, oh, that reminds me of such and such. Like, we're all very self-interested individuals by nature. So when you hear a story, you're always trying to figure out how that pertains to you, right? And so even just by that, you feel, either you're not at all aligned with it, or it draws you in, which you would hope your audience, if you're a creator, mostly aligns with who you are. So stories are really important, and they just, even if it's like you're using a product because you have a child that has diabetes, but the woman watching doesn't have that, but her child has autism or something, it's something you can relate to, right? And that really, the emotion is what sells anything, which feels very weird to like try to manipulate people to buy things, right? It's like such a consumerist thing, but
Yeah.
that's what brands want, unfortunately. And sometimes they're really good products, often. So without
Yeah, and it's
storytelling, it's
opening the
just,
door for that, I feel, right? Like
hmm,
everyone wants a feeling of connection and, oh, okay, I'm not alone in this,
mm,
right?
yeah.
And so, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's really two sides to that. Like, brand content should always be about a story. Otherwise, you're just a spokesperson, right? Just like on the shopping network holding an item. It's bizarre. And like their normal content is always about a story. And if you look at the posts that are a story and they're telling something, then the comments are like off the charts, right? And then
Mm,
you post something that's not really a story and there's nothing really to engage with. So in
true.
every way, again, which ties back to like if you got the product and used it, maybe you'd have some story, even about the story of like how you started using it or where you used it, right? If you're not tied to the features the brand wants you to talk about, you have more space for that story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So within Momfluence, is there like an app that you love to use or suggest to your creators or your
Hmm.
something that you can't run without?
I mean, like I'm more focused on all like the B2B sales thing, so I'm a terrible person like that. But okay, this is my only hack that's really helped my life, which is just a generic person hack. And maybe everyone knew this, but I didn't. For the longest time, I wanted to be able to say in my kitchen to my Google Home, hey, add this to the grocery list, right? You're like, I don't want to
Yeah.
put my. So I tried so many different things. Add a milk, it wouldn't connect to this, all these tech problems. I realized I can just say, hey, Siri, add this to the grocery list, and it will open reminders. And I have a bulk barn list, a Costco list, a grocery list, a to do list, and I can verbally tell it to do things that get tracked. Like,
Oh my gosh.
it,
Yeah. Actually, I don't use it in that way, and now I'm going to.
it
So
is
thank you.
so helpful.
Yeah.
Like I never have to write
Seriously.
down a grocery list. It's always on my phone. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And verbally.
Maybe
And
can
then
you add it to notes so then your kids can actually be in there too, and so they
yeah,
can't
true.
complain you don't have
I
snacks in
know.
the house ever?
If they have an iPhone, you can add them to the list on reminders, but I don't know about notes. You could test that. That's
Okay.
the next level of that. I know my kids aren't old enough to be, they just eat whatever I put in.
Oh my gosh. Our son just moved back home for he lives half the time out of the house now for hockey, and so he just came back home. I'm like, well, here we go with the grocery bill again. I'm like, not ready for
Oh yeah.
this.
Is he like billeted somewhere?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where does he play?
He plays in Lethbridge for the
Oh,
Lethbridge
cool.
Hurricanes. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Fun.
So,
You're a hockey mom. I'm a soccer mom.
hockey.
Different.
Okay. Yeah.
Even that's by design. I was like, you're not going to learn to play hockey. I figure skated. It's weird that my kids don't know how to skate, but I'm like, I'm so sick of sitting in arenas. I'm going to sit outside in the summer.
Yeah.
You know?
Seriously, except
Yeah.
here we're always in the rain, so I'm like,
True,
I don't
true.
want soccer.
Yeah, that's true. Different province.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I like to end with a few kind of rapid fires on
Hmm.
questions for you.
Hmm.
So, what has been the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I feel like people don't give me advice. I mean, I think that I actually can't think of any advice. But, and in
Well, I
fact,
like
people
your
have always,
notes that you just showed.
yeah, people have always told me not to do what I'm about to do. No one's ever thought that what I'm going to do is a good idea, which is really, so I like with restaurants, they're like, are you crazy? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. But I will say that in the same vein, it's really helpful, the women that talk about feeling like an imposter. I feel like that's not
Yeah,
advice, but it's like, it makes you feel so much less alone. And if I was to give someone advice or wish someone gave me advice a long time ago, it would have been like, you will always feel like an imposter. Everyone else does too. Like, just keep going because everybody does. Right.
absolutely.
I felt it
And
when
I
I had
also like
restaurants.
that I like what you just said too about people saying don't do that and you did it anyways. And now look,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Back then, I always trusted my intuition because I didn't have kids to feed. I was like, everything's going to work out fine. I was like in my 20s and optimistic. And it did in many, many ways. I obviously don't regret anything. But yeah, I think that no one is you. And if you tell someone what you're doing, unless they're trained and just being supportive, they're going to give you what they fear about it, right? Which is why they're not doing it. 100%. I tell people after I do something like, hey, I did this thing. Then it's too late. They can't be like, oh, don't do that.
Or if they're asking questions, I like to just say, just watch me.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I'll show you.
Often they will be like, yeah, that was a mistake. I don't know.
What's one brand you'd love to have on Momfluence?
That's a really good question. I probably should have this. For the longest time, and I'm not a Disney mom in any way, but I was like, Disney would be like really crazy. Like that's like the pinnacle. And I had a call with them not knowing because it was under Visit Anaheim. And I was like, oh, their tourism department, fun. And they're like, this is for Disney. I was like, whoa, okay, this is cool. So like that was a really big one. I don't really have like dream ones. I should have something. Honestly, a car company. I feel like a car company would be really fun. And they do campaigns with influencers, right? Where you get the car loan for you for a weekend. Never done a car company, but I actually am thinking of it from the creator point of view, like which one would be so highly applied for. If it was like a fun like Land Rover and you got a Land Rover for the weekend, like that'd be really fun. I get excited when people get excited. So like it's, through their excitement. Because I can't get the campaign. Like it's not for me.
Totally.
But yeah, that'd be fun. So that's my dream one, a Land Rover.
I love that. And I think too, there's so many directions you can go in that kind of a car. Take the stigma out of this isn't a mom mobile, right? Like we don't need the minivans. We need a nice ride. Yeah, for sure.
So manifesting that. I gotta reach out to them.
Perfect. Trust that intuition. You should. Yeah. What do you want your boys to say about you as their mom?
That I was around all the time. I want them to feel like I didn't work. Like it's sometimes I think they mock me by saying like, you're always on your computer. And I'm like, literally, I'm not. My computer does not come home with me or get open. But in their mind, like if 1 hour of a whole weekend I do something that I don't even need to do, it's like, you guys are occupied. I'm going to write this email I want to do. To them, that's a lot. So I can't imagine if I actually worked from home, when they're home,
Yeah, for sure.
So I would love for them to feel like I'm around. And I think that they do.
It sounds like you are very present.
Mm-hmm.
Very aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also they're like, you're on your phone all the time. And I'm like, you have no idea. I'm looking at a recipe that I'm literally making or like responding to your Playdate message about Friday. Like nothing I do on my phone is work. It's all for you guys, or like getting something on Marketplace because I just bought you a bike and it's not your favorite color, right? It's like the number of things that,
all the things that go through a mom's mind that is nothing to do with work.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't work for my phone. I can't. There's no point. I'm not going to slow type an email.
Oh my gosh. Are you on Whisperflow?
I know. I've been turned on to it. And the problem for me is that I don't use it enough, I feel like, to pay for it. And I always run out of, I've always run out of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
and
like,
actually,
okay, this is game changing.
You have to start flow and then it takes you out and then it takes you back in. Like any barrier, I'm so impatient that I'm just like, hey, Siri, text this to so-and-so. And then I say it and it does it. Right. So
totally.
it does work way better. Siri's message, I'm like, that's terribly written. That's not what I said. But it's good enough.
I just have it on my desktop and it's like changed the quick, like the output. Right. I've been loving it. Yeah.
But my phone just started doing what I said it to do. It's like, I can't text that person. She's very responsive, my Siri.
She is. That's
I need to give her a bonus at the end of this year.
Well, I appreciate you being here and getting to know a little bit about you and Momfluence. Where can people come to find you if they want to be content creators for you or looking for content creators?
Yeah. Our platform is at momfluence.co, so any creator can sign up and apply. Same with brands. They can do that too, or you can LinkedIn me. I'm always available for a question or what have you. I don't really do social media. Like I don't post anything. So website or LinkedIn is always good.
Perfect. I'll put everything in the show notes as well. But Thank you. Thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for chatting. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If today's conversation resonated, then ask yourself what one small action you can take from it. Because momentum isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in a quiet follow through, the honest choices, and the decision you make when no one's watching. If you loved this episode, the best way to support the show is to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you don't have to choose between showing up for your life and going after your potential. This is your permission to stop playing small. I'll see you next time.